Get him, get him.
Oh my God!
Calm down. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Oh, yeah, dude!
Dude.
6 pounds, 11 ounces. Oh, 2 points.
Oh my. Limp. That's what I've been waiting for all day.
That's over 6.
True. And that one's, oh, here he goes. Go. Good?
That's a big fish.
Full hand on tail. Yeah, it looks sick. Good to go.
Look how broad that thing is.
I wonder if that was the one that followed me in.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Holy sh!
God. What a beast. Oh, wow. That might be a 4. That might be a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You guys show that off too. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Holy.
Another good one.
Holy sh! What the? Is that another 6?
Could be.
It's the second giant of the day, proving that point. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes!
Big baits, big fish. There we go. 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Beauty! Dude, I'm not even joking. It happened again.
You kidding me?
Nope.
Is it big?
Oh! That's strong.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's a fat fish, dude.
4.
Holy. Dude. Holy hell, that's long.
Yeah, it is.
5, 4, 6. What?
Yeah.
Just rock.
Got him. Get in here, you.
There's another 6. You. That's a big fish.
6'10". Woo-hoo-hoo. Big old fatty.
Huzzah! How's everybody doing?
Howdy
Welcome back.
doody.
Howdy doody doody do. Is everything working? Yes.
Okay.
Everything. I see green lights and bars. I'm gonna double check the audio settings, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine. If there was an issue, Chris would have said so earlier in the pre-stream, pre-game chat. Hi Kevin, hi Kevin, hi Kevin, hi Kevin, hi Kevin. Not sure what happened there, buddy, but Dennis again. More on that shortly. Before we get started, I shouldn't ask this early, but if I don't, then I always don't remember for like 45 minutes. Thank y'all for being here as always. Greatly appreciate it. Do us a favor, leave a like on this, please, whether you're watching here on YouTube or on Facebook. Either way, it helps immensely, especially since there's no regular videos for the foreseeable future. More on that later as well. No, we already talked about that last week. I'm too goddamn busy. Simple as that. So, for me, probably end of July is what's more likely than not for the return of regular fishing videos, which actually be pretty good timing-wise. But we'll see how it goes. A lot of things happen in the next couple of weeks. We'll take it from there. And it's announced earlier, but make it official. Mr. Dennis Hart is now part of Reel Nothern Bass.
Boom.
Cheers, sir.
Cheerses.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I knew it.
Oh, I didn't drink it.
Of course you knew it. We talked about it Friday.
Dude, I already had a feeling. Me and Brian were talking. He's like, so who's going to take your place when you leave? I'm like,
No one could take your
Dennis.
place.
Dennis.
Nobody can take your place. Maybe here, but not in here.
Not emotionally.
Aw.
Physically, maybe.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not that big. You can take his place.
I could probably take 2 of his.
Yeah, you can take 2.5.
Dad bod's filling out real nice.
Such a big boy.
So I gotta get him set up with a GoPro and a mic. I have like pretty much everything. And then when his time allows, he'll start making videos as well. And the whole reason behind
Maybe all
this-
3 of us should go fishing together.
Yeah, as soon as I can. I can't even go fishing this weekend, man.
Oh.
I take that back. Saturday night mission, like Saturday evening into night mission. That's literally all I have time for this weekend.
Okay. If you're
It's
down
supposed
with
to
that.
Thunderstorm.
It
I don't
probably
give a heck
is.
and heck.
That sounds
Or a
safe.
frickin' frick.
Safety last.
Safety. And now you know where I'm going to go? The place where we're more likely to get struck than anywhere else, because that's one of the better night fishing spots.
Where we usually always go
Yeah, yeah.
forever.
No, we can't go there. We're going to go somewhere different.
Don't say the place up the street.
Where we just went?
Ooh.
No, I was thinking the place just past that, though.
No. I've night
We'll never
fished
make
there
it
a bunch
back.
of times, and it always sucked.
Place up the street could be really good.
It could be, but
I don't know. We got options.
What street are we talking about?
the street that the other one's on, but right up the road.
Yeah, so you go up the street, and there's one, and you go further up the street, there's
another
another,
one.
and then down the end of that street, there's yet another.
Oh, I've never seen the other.
Well, to get from one street to the next, you have to go down that road, and then you go up this street before you take that state highway.
There's a lot of ways to get there.
It's gonna have an aneurysm, folks.
But you got to come in from the north, like the northeast.
Don't give me directions.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought I knew what you were talking about, and now I'm not even confident that you're talking about this state.
Yeah, it's
we're
right
not
up.
talking about this
No, it's right up the road.
State of confusion. Capital me. Oh my God. Tell you what, this is not going to last long because it is hotter than hell.
It's harder than the devil's dick in here.
Yeah, and I tell you, usually my basement is pretty cool, but yeah, not so much. And one of the things you guys can't see is all of the equipment running, 2 PCs, both with dual monitors. Mine has 2 27-inch monitors. We have 2 42-inch TVs, 2 studio lights, and then the camera and all the microphone and the Rodecaster.
And all these hot bodies.
Dude, it warms up in here fast, and I'm already getting uncomfortable. So let's get into it. Tonight's open topic night, which we have not done in a little while.
Quick recap. We caught a frick ton of fish.
Ooh, yes. Let's that's that first.
Yeah.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Jerk baits are frickin' phenomenal. I love the jerk bait. I always said it. Always will. And that's about it. It worked.
So our buddy John was up in town over the weekend, and he came over, helped me build a new electric dirt bike, got for a kid for his birthday, which thing is sick. And then I was like, all right, let's go out fishing. So we did, and it was pretty good. Jackhammer bite was great. We went to a small localish pond, kettle pond, probably about 100 acres. You caught your 5-pound smallie there, which is, by the way, where we were talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one.
Well, initially I was talking about the one with the island. One we always go to tonight.
Yes.
And then you were like, don't talk about the one up the road. And then I was talking about where he caught his 5-pound smallie. But I was going to say the one just up the road from that.
Oh! Ooh.
I no longer have confidence that smallie was 5 pounds.
No?
Like it said 5 pounds on the scale, but like I've caught a lot of other 5-pound smallmouth after that, and it's like that one did not look as big as the other ones. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was cold water.
His
and like it
5 and
just
a
hit
half.
something, or
His 5.5 didn't look like it. Looked like a 4 3/4.
whose?
Mine.
His,
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
but it was
Maybe it
it
just
was
ate
a lot
something heavy or whatever.
like lead weights. Did you?
I did
don't
put
tell me.
I put a 3-pound weight in it before I weighed it.
I saw something that at the LCI, one of the bass that was one of the largemouth bass that was leading at one point was 6 point something pounds, and it was only 18 inches, and everyone's like,
Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Those Vermont bass are built different.
I
but
caught a
who knows?
19.5 inch 6 and what was it? 6.36.
That's still
It's a big,
pretty believable.
yeah.
18's kind of pushing it.
It
That thing
happened.
must have just ate a
You better believe it, because that's real life.
It's on video.
All right, we got a little off track here. We went out Saturday evening, and jackhammer bite was on. Wind was ripping Saturday. Anybody that was anywhere in this area in New Hampshire, the wind was not friendly. But we pulled up, again, small pond, maybe 100 acres, and it was white-capped. I'm like, okay, cool, spinnerbait, jackhammer. One of the two was going to get bit, and jackhammer went off like crazy. It was great, and I let my buddy John, who came up with nothing, so I was like, dude, I have 3 jackhammers tied on, pick. And he chose one that I would have picked. I'm like, not a problem. I'm going to throw a jig, a Texas rig, and a fluke, and a swim jig, and I'm going to see if any of these work. I think he had 10 fish before I caught one. Like, okay, that ain't going to work. So I picked up jackhammer, and we proceeded to put on a pretty damn good show. And in like 3 hours, we had probably 25-ish bass, which was pretty good. I was happy with it, especially with how tough the season's been. I had one over 3. They would end up being 3.5. And then John had one that was exactly 4.00. We measured it. We weighed it twice just to be absolutely sure. So he was stoked because I think it'd been over a year since the last time he caught a 4+. It was getting kind of late. Didn't remember any headlamps. So I was like, let's go in. And as we were heading back to the ramp, I just panned around with active target, and I saw a school crappie. I'm like, ooh, hang on. Hit spot lock, fired out with the jerk bait. and instantly connected on a crappie. Now I'm giggling like a little freaking schoolgirl, and I fired back out. I had 3 crappie and 3 casts, and catching crappie at this place is so much fun because they're huge and it's just a blast. Then I ended up catching another 3. Sorry, I caught a 3 earlier, then I caught a 3.5, and I'm like, okay, well maybe. So for an hour, I had the boat spot locked on this one school that just never moved, and it seemed to be constantly replenishing, and they were stacked up in between 2 big patches of pond cabbage for a little over an hour until full dark, which made it a little tricky getting the boat back up on the trailer with no lights, but it was totally worth it. And all those fish in the last hour were on the jerkbait. So when Andrew and I were planning to go out the next morning, he was like, well, how about there? I was like, actually, yeah, no, it could be really good. If we get there really early, it could be a good topwater bite. And we pulled up to the first spot. I was like, well, let's go over here. It was really cold Saturday into Sunday. It's like they're probably going to be in the same area. So we went out there, fired out a jerkbait, and what do we have, like 30 fish in the first 2 hours?
Damn.
Yeah, something like that.
Including a 4-pounder,
30.
4 1/4.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the day, and even after it got hot, bluebird skies, dead slick, they would only touch jerkbait. I threw a Senko for collectively 100 casts.
Probably.
Never caught a single fish on it. On a wacky rig.
My first fish was on a swim jig,
Forgot about that.
and then the rest were all on jerkbait.
Every other single fish. No, I got 2 on a Texas rig. Total of 41 fish, 38 of them on a jerkbait.
42.
42? Oh, we did have 42. Okay, sorry, 39 on a jerkbait. 2 Texas rig, 1 swim jig. Not at all what I would have expected. And if it wasn't for that last minute flurry at the end of the night, I never would have thought to go out there and throw a jerkbait in those conditions. But dude, I tell you, it worked great.
I did it. I did it for smallies at that place up in north of here. Place I always used to go to right down the road.
Oh, yep.
Dead middle of the summer, I'd go up there and throw jerkbaits for smallies, and they do really good on it.
Jody, thank you. He's gonna get our autograph for the next Wednesday nighter.
No, he said that's for Kevin because
That's for
Kevin's
Kevin?
so
What did Kevin do?
Kevin's famous now.
Oh yeah, I saw it on that. Man, I hate it when getting up early is worth it. Yup. Where are these guys from? Matt, I'm assuming you're talking about us. We are from southern New Hampshire. Woods and Weeds Outdoors, though, his comment is also very accurate
That one in my
as
eye.
well.
Let me get it with my tongue.
Please don't. I don't know what happened. Backsplash.
But anyway, southern New Hampshire, sir. We drive all over New England, the greater Northeast, and fish wherever we can, as long as we can, all year long. I did see it. Kevin was in the newspaper. I forgot about that.
Was it really?
Yeah, on the old honey hole there up in Vermont.
Oh no shit.
I forget what the caption was, but it was quite funny. I liked Jody's comment the most. He's like, now I know your secret spot.
Is that the?
Did you get caught dumping
place?
pesticides in it?
What'd you say?
I said, did he get caught dumping pesticides in it?
Damn that guy. I'm from my mother in Pa.
And Pa.
Ow.
Okay.
Everyone said your
so-
last name wrong.
And you didn't fish this weekend. You were busy.
I had a crawfish boil instead.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw the pictures. That looked
was so
really
good.
good.
That
was so
did look phenomenal.
It was actually kind of like chaotic because they shipped the crawfish. This has nothing to do with fishing, but they shipped the crawfish in a cooler. So it was like a 10-pound bag of live crawfish. Put them in a cooler. Everything on the website says like, don't keep them overnight. Eat them the day you get them. We don't guarantee them overnight, but they don't ship on Sundays. And we were doing it for Father's Day and like having people over. So I was like, well, I got to keep them overnight. So I put them in the Yeti and I put a bunch of ice on them. And woke up the next day, opened the cooler, and none of them were moving, and they all looked like they were dead. And it was like, shit, they're all like 10 pounds of them are dead. So it was my family and my wife's family that were coming over. So I told both of them like, hey, all the crawfish are dead. So they were like, oh, we'll bring lobsters. So they showed up with 6 lobsters, and then I went to dump the crawfish like hours later, and I took all the ice out when I first checked in the morning, and all the crawfish were alive, and they were just like dormant because they were cold. So I was like,
I wonder if that's what happened with my lobsters.
Could have been.
could be. So then we had 6 lobsters and 10 pounds of crawfish.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was extreme.
It was extreme.
Last comment. Oh, well, actually, before I answer that, that was the weekend recap. So, I don't know. Good luck to everybody this weekend. And so, again, open topic night. So, fair game. At any point, start shooting us a ton of questions because we don't get to do this that often. I try and space it out once every like 5 to 6 weeks. And it just works perfect for when we're not doing a very specific topic. So we can talk about anything that people otherwise can't get in. And especially with the break that we had, it's been an exceptionally long while since the last time we did this. So by all means, start firing away. Excuse me. Woods and Weeds. Does Andrew know that I was the one that talked to him at Bass Fishing Electronics the other day? I was picked up my Ranger. He said he was moving to Florida. What a traitor.
No, I did not know. I don't. Dude, I run into so many people there. I have no idea. And we work on a lot of Rangers. I'm sorry. I didn't know who you were. My bad. Hello.
If it makes anybody feel any better, if you go and talk to Andrew and you're like, hey, and he doesn't know who you are, even in the best conditions, he doesn't know who anybody is. He does not control the remember.
No, I don't control the remember at all. I don't I don't know much.
I don't even know where you are right now.
Who are you?
Yeah.
And Denisovich.
Denisovich.
My name, Andrew.
My name Andrew.
So by all means, start
Really
firing
know.
away questions. We are here to answer as many as we can tonight. I did see one starred. Aha, there it is. Thank you, Grat. How do you work the jerkbait in the summer? You want to handle this first?
Friggin' fast.
Friggin' fast.
Friggin' fast with a decent amount of pause. So, like, a bunch of really quick jerks, I guess you would say. With, like, a decent pause. I mean, this past weekend I was only given, like, between a 3 to 5 second pause. And I actually caught one swimming it. I was just reeling it in to recast, and I noticed one detached itself from the bottom, came up and chased it up, so I paused it. It came up, looked at it, one jerk, boom, nailed it. So the next cast, I did the same thing, bombed it out, reeled it down, twitch, reeled it in, and I saw one come back up off the bottom. I didn't catch that one, but it did the same thing, reacted the same way. So that's how I was fishing the rest of the day, really. Quick 7, 8 jerks, twitches, whatever, to like a 3 to 5 second pause.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it took on Sunday. Saturday was a little bit faster in the evening, but it was also really windy. So with the wind and the waves helping to break up the lighting coming in on the water, just tends to things go a lot faster. Like I know when I go out for smallmouth this time of the year, and whether it's sunny or cloudy, as long as the wind's ripping pretty good, I get a jerkbait out there, you almost can't work it fast enough. And usually only generally in really calm conditions, even in this time of the year, do you really need to slow down and add in a good pause.
It's like a spinnerbait.
Bless you. God bless you.
Thanks. Just two. And you? Do you have anything to add to elaborate on this for jerkbaits in the summer?
I don't fish jerkbaits in lakes a lot in the summer like you guys do. I fish them in the river a lot, and I'll use floating jerkbaits there because I'm fishing them in like 2 to 3 feet of water. And same thing though, really fast. Not. I mean, it's floating, so if you pause, it floats. So you kind of have to work it fast. But summer is when I use floating jerkbaits a lot.
Jody asked a question.
Jody did ask a question.
Jody,
Why
you know
was he-
everything. Why are you asking questions?
Chris, if you go back, there was one you had started earlier. He re-asked that question. Star that one, please. Jody, what hooks do you use for your jerkbaits, and do you mess with feathers on anything? Okay, I'm a heathen. I don't touch them. I use them stock. And I buy ones stock that have a feather on them. I'm a heathen.
I use regular jerkbaits with no feathers every season besides like early season,
Yeah.
like ice out, and then really, really late fall
Yep.
before ice in.
I agree. I think the feathers make a difference when the water's super cold and it's sitting there for a long time and the feather's kind of breathing. When you're moving it really fast, it doesn't really matter.
I've never really found a difference in warmer water with it.
Me neither.
I mean, they're going to hit it no matter what.
Right.
So, but I definitely have noticed a difference in colder water.
Yeah, if you're pausing for like 10, 15 seconds, I feel like the feather makes a big difference.
Oh yeah,
That feather is deadly in the winter.
Yeah.
especially
And
for
also, like,
crappie.
It slows down the action too because it's like dragging in the water. So
Yep.
like you're not quite as aggressive.
It's not as.
a
It's more like
dampened.
a. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Yep. Woods and Weeds Outdoors. Wanted to order some Beast Coast jigs. Do you guys have a promo code for us to use? No. However, I say the same thing to everybody that asks this. myself and several others have been asking Derek, the owner there, to do something like that because we get asked so many times. And he's kind of on the fence about it. So when you do go to order, there's a notes section. First off, say we sent you, and we also recommend that, hey, give us a promo code. And, you know, maybe we can get him to get in on that.
Benefits everybody.
I need to blow my
Benefits and everything.
Ned Ninja, when are you throwing chatterbaits over a swim jig? You want to go first?
In my opinion, I'm throwing a swim jig when it's dead flat calm with blue skies. And if it's not, if it's super windy and overcast, or God, there's so many scenarios. It could be dead flat calm overcast. I'll throw a swim jig or a chatterbait. It could be bluebird skies with wind, and I'll throw a chatterbait. If it's bluebird skies and flat calm, I'll throw a swim jig. Is there any other combination to that?
That was a confusing answer. I think you confused everybody, including you.
I'm giving all the situations.
I don't think you can name every single weather situation.
No, but if there's wind, I throw a chatterbait. If there's no wind, I throw a swim jig. Is that
That's fair.
straightforward?
Yeah, I agree. I would always try to start with a chatterbait just because it's. I think it's.
I mean, you can catch them in both situations,
Yeah.
in both conditions.
Yeah, chatterbait has more drawing power. You can. I fish it a little bit faster, so I try to start with that. But if it's dead calm and they won't hit a chatterbait,
I feel like subtle
swim
water
jig.
movements,
Yeah.
subtle bait.
Yeah, I agree. Because they can see it better, and like if they have a really good look at it, then the blade can sometimes turn them off.
Right.
Also, like if you're in ultra thick weeds, then still the chatterbait can get like bogged down in weeds sometimes. So a swim jig is better.
Oh, yeah. No, chatterbait inside of veggies can be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Always is.
Especially if you have like the right rod combo that really allows it to hunt, where it wants to dash left, right, then it becomes a real nightmare. If you run a stiffer rod that doesn't really allow it to hunt, you're just kind of relying on the vibration of the blade and it's straight lines, it's not so bad. But yeah, in that case, I'm going with a swim jig, swim bait combo every single time.
Yep.
I do need to play around with my trailers a little bit more in that presentation, though. That's something I don't do
Miyagi.
enough of. Yeah.
That's all I've been throwing on it. I've been trimming down a Miyagi, and it works great.
I threw that almost the entire time Saturday evening with John for like the first hour. I mean, I tried Texas rig, a little bit of jig, a little bit of a fluke, but it was like, you know, fish the swim jig for 15 minutes, and I'd see something, I'd kind of pitch at it, work something slow around, and then go back to the swim jig. And it was that Beast Coast swim jig with the Miyagi on the back. And I never
works.
even got a tickle on it.
Really?
Yep. Not a tickle, dude. They really wanted that thumping vibration. The first cast with my jackhammer, I caught a fish.
I've noticed that in lower light conditions that they do like the chatterbait more. Like, definitely at night. Like, as soon as the sun starts to set, that's definitely when I would go out to the specific pond just to throw a chatterbait as the sun was going down. And I would absolutely crush them every single time. On the same flat every time. You know what I'm talking about.
Chatterbait's the best bait of all time. Start with that when you can. I agree.
Yeah, chatterbaits are easy mode.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I'm not going to start with it is if I'm in a situation like where calm conditions, no wind, bluebird skies, especially like right now around the bluegill spawn, if it's still happening in some of your areas. And I've already figured out some like the day or 2 days before that the bass are up shallow. I'm going to a swim jig right off the bat every time. Throw it up in the pads and hold on tight. But other than that, yeah, jackhammer every time. Bladed jig, whatever you want to call it. Matthew, favorite mini jig and trailer combo in a quick moving river. Oh, that's you. You are much more of a river angler, or at least you've been on there a lot more than we have, especially in recent years.
What's the Mini Max or whatever the Beast Coast one is? Not the Mini Max. The Beast Coast little mini.
The one with the hair on it?
No.
The little football one?
No.
Well, now you've got me all sorts confused. A jig?
It's a jig. I don't know.
Hustler?
No, it's like a jig, but I'm gonna go to their website.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
It's like the 22 strand open water sniper.
No, it's like a flipping jig. It's just small.
Oh, Little Magnum.
Little Magnum.
Little Max. See, I said Mini Max, Little Magnum.
I had a hard time there. I'm sorry.
These are now your sponsors. You should friggin'
They
figure
were
this out.
similar. They were similar. They were similar. But yeah, the on a river, especially when there's current, I don't want to use like a big honking thing that's gonna drag and like get swept up in the current. So I usually I like that mini mag.
Little Magnum.
Little Magnum, Mini Mag, Little Magnum. I don't know the name of anything.
Pew, pew.
I use the Little Magnum, and I use like a beaver style trailer on the back of it, so it's not catching a ton of water because the current gives it enough action on its own usually, and I can be more efficient. And when I'm fishing the river, I'm usually fishing grass, like heavy grass, and you don't want something that has a ton of kick or it's just catching on the grass.
Okay, make this fall slower though.
That being said,
Pink.
if you're fishing smallmouth and you're not in grass, then Kitech makes like a little like 3/16 ounce jig like this.
Oh, a teeny tiny one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's called like a mono guard or something like that. And if you use that with like a tiny paca chunk or something on the back of it, those are awesome. It like takes the place of a Ned rig, but you get like a larger size glass fish that consistently bites it.
I bet you a hair jig would still
like
work.
it.
Oh yeah,
Even in the summer.
A hair jig?
Yeah. Just letting that thing float down in the current.
I'm gonna bring some northern bass fishing down south, and they're gonna lose their mind.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know what hit them.
E-stack fishing. After the smallmouth spawn, where do they go post-spawn and how deep? Really depends on the body of water that you're fishing and how deep of water it offers. And I would say even the structure that it offers going out towards the deepest parts of the lakes.
and the bait.
And the bait.
forage.
There's a lot of different components to answer that question. If I had to give a specific example, I'll use Newfound Lake.
The bottom.
Because to me, that's just such a great lake, and it's smallmouth only. That you can catch a largemouth here and there, but for all intents and purposes, it's smallmouth only. And the beauty of that lake is it offers a lot of structure, even down to about as deep as 45 feet. And then from 45 to 70, a little bit more sporadic, then it's just all deep, wide open water. And all the way down to hundreds of feet. 150 to 193 feet, I think, is the deepest depth out there. 197, something like that. Immediately post-spawn, they go from those shallow spawn flats and they just drop right over the next edge from like 10 to 20 feet in the vast majority of cases, and especially those bigger fish. Then they'll sit there and they'll hang at that area for like a couple of weeks, depending upon how fast the water warms up. And you can find them suspended, but I feel like I have more success fishing them off the bottom at that point anyway. Kind of a mixed bag, but more often than not off the bottom. As the water continues to get warmer, we get close to like the low 70s, mid 70s, they're just going to keep falling bottom, or whether they truly like to be suspended or on the bottom, they're going to go from that 10 to 20 down to like 20 to 35 to maybe even 40. And at a certain point, we get to like right now when the surface temps are getting really close to 80 and that it's starting to push the thermocline down. Once the thermocline gets down to about 35 feet, then the fish come from, we'll just say that they're on the bottom at 35 and they just slide right out into the middle of the lake. So, again, right now, immediate post-spawn, my experience,
What Jody said.
10 to 20 feet, they're starting to move
Very
a little
specific.
bit.
Really narrows it down.
Some are shallow. Some will be in 5 to 50 over 15 to 190 feet of water. Spot on. They're everywhere.
Yeah, it depends on how post-spawn they are right now. And then again, like Dennis said, you got forage to worry about too. If it's a place that primarily only has smelt, I feel like those smelt have already started pushing out pretty well at this point because they are very much a cold water fish. Yep. Yellow perch, kind of same deal. If it's primarily crawfish, I'm not sure, like if that was really their only forage, just how deep they would be going.
I don't know. It's not like the crawfish migrate.
No, you know what I mean, but I don't know how deep crawfish would tend to go.
Yeah,
Like if you were, I can't think of a single body of water that wouldn't have yellow perch or white perch or smelt.
I'm pretty sure the crawfish are literally everywhere.
I think so, yeah.
I'd be curious to know how deep they go.
Me too.
The bottom.
Shut up.
It's going to be your answer to every question.
Yep.
The bottom.
I don't know. Did anybody else have anything to elaborate on that? Did I do good?
I agree.
You
with
did good.
I did good.
I think 35 feet is like my like median. I base everything
Yeah.
around 35 feet because I feel like that's where the thermocline is most of the time in most lakes in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
So like I look there and then like, are they a little bit shallower than that? Are they a little bit deeper than that?
35, yeah. 35 is a good. Yeah.
If I were to go out to Newfoundland this weekend, I would start looking at 25 and deeper. I would start 25 to 35. That'd be my
Winnie
starting
too.
point.
Winnie too. If I went to Winnie, I wouldn't make a single cast that was shallower than 20 feet. It would
Yeah.
be mostly 30 to 40 probably.
Yep. Would Jody say surely crawfish can get deep? People caught fish deep in the Great Lakes pre-gobies. Oh, that's a fair point.
Maybe.
Maybe.
No,
Alec.
that seems correct.
Do you have any tricks for big swim baits with hair tails to get them to go back to the original tail shape? Not me, like brush tail. I have a Spro Chad, and I left it stupid in my bait box, so the whole bottom tail is curved up instead of that perfect V.
I wonder if
And
you,
haven't figured
I
out
wonder
how
if
to
you
fix
boil
Yeah,
it.
can you boil them?
You might be able to boil it straight out. I mean, it's like maybe use a hair straightener.
Maybe,
I was just gonna say that. Like it sounds stupid, but what about a
Wash
hair
it.
straightener?
Wash
I don't know,
it.
because isn't it like it's like a nylon? Like what would a typical
It's like
hairbrush-
horsehair,
or not
kinda.
hairbrush, like paintbrush style brush tail swim bait would
Yeah,
be?
like horsehair type of deal.
Yeah, maybe not boil, but like a simmer, like
Head and shoulders, and use a hair dryer or like an ironer, hair iron. Take your wife's hair iron.
Did you hear that joke about Jeffrey Dahmer?
What?
They went into his house looking for bodies, looking in the shower, and then all they found was Head and Shoulders.
Eh. Andrew liked it.
You ready to take over now?
He's a dad. He likes dad jokes. Maverick locked on Champlain largies yesterday. Got a couple on a swim jig and Texas rig. Well, should
hair
I
straightener,
throw?
yeah, not iron.
You gotta know the conditions.
I mean, from everything I've been seeing from other people posting, those are pretty well post spawned in most of the areas up there now. It could have just been that they were in a funk, depending upon what end of the lake you were on. And I'm sorry if you said it elsewhere. I haven't seen it yet. We're just slowly working our way down these comments. Okay, well, I don't know. You covered a good moving bait. You covered a really good bottom contact. The only thing I would have said to have changed up was go more finesse. I don't know. You guys can add in your 2 cents on this.
What?
Fluke. I would go fluke.
What, the Lockjaw
Yeah.
and Champlain one
Yeah,
still?
like if I can't get bit on a swim jig or something like, or a chatterbait or a swim jig or a spinner bait,
Try a different color.
I'll try a different color. I usually go fluke after. Like if you know you're around them, then a fluke is usually a good way to see if they'll actually hit anything.
I hate to say it, but Ned rig.
Depends on if you're in weeds though. If he's fishing a swim jig in a Texas rig, you assume he's fishing the grass.
Yeah, there's a part of me that really wants to get those EWG Ned rig hooks
Yeah, like the
specifically for
weedless
the
ones.
grass.
Yeah.
Because I've heard from quite a few guys that I know well and trust that have done very well doing that. And I keep thinking, like, I should probably just buy some of those damn hooks because I have no shortage of Ned rigs. Plus other baits that work really well on a Ned rig hook that would work exceptionally well on a weedless Ned rig hook.
Weedless Ned rig. Isn't that what an EWG really would be, though? You Texas rig it, kind of?
Yeah, but no, I'd still want to put it on like a Ned head style
Oh,
jig
yeah,
hook.
yeah,
That
yeah.
way, if I could get it to slide through, especially like where we were looking at on Sunday, and we finally found that hard patch again in the middle of all the
Yep.
weeds. You get around that, and it lands in the middle of that. Now it's standing straight up, like perfect,
Yeah?
like perfect. Like
I can't
that-
believe we found that spot again.
Does Dennis
I've been looking for that
prefer
spot for 10 years.
grass piece over the jackhammer? I do not. No, I prefer jackhammer over the grass piece. I think
Really?
I think the jackhammer is better in way more situations. I think the grass piece is like it's not like a novelty thing. I think that I was using it in an area where a lot of people throw a chatterbait or a traditional spinnerbait, and I think that this is something that doesn't look exactly like either of those things. So it still lets me fish really fast like I want to and get bites to fish that are conditioned to seeing spinnerbait after spinnerbait after spinnerbait. But I think that I know that it has a chatterbait blade on it, but I would say that it fishes much more similar to a spinnerbait than it does a chatterbait. So they're not exactly comparable either.
Okay, that's fair.
Yes, extra wide girth.
Hey, Cudworth.
I'm gonna miss
Hey, buddy.
his comments.
Yeah. I'll just screenshot you.
Is that the guy?
I'll be in there.
Yeah,
Is that the nipple comment guy from last week? I thought about that all. My
the
wife made
dingleberry.
fun of me when I got home. It was the big thing.
It was a big thing.
Somebody texted me that was like, "Hey, I saw you on YouTube. They made fun of your nipples." Like, yeah,
Welcome to the show.
they sure did. They sure did.
Yeah, thick skin and even thicker shirts to hide your nipples.
I have to start putting band-aids over them.
Dennis, you all heard it first. Dennis is going to wear pasties.
Nice.
Nate, my 9-year-old son is watching you guys. He would like to know, at what point do you switch baits when they aren't working? Obviously, time of day, weather, water temp, all play factors. Yeah.
That's the end all be all question.
Yep. That's a tough one to answer.
It's extremely tough. It's,
When do you switch baits? When they aren't working.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a. I think that just comes with time. Like that's something that your level of experience helps dictate when you know that something is just not going to work, or when you get the notion that if you grind it out, then you'll eventually get something. I think that
doesn't mean it's not going to work. You could just be in the wrong depth,
Right.
or fish in the wrong
there's
structure.
there's so many variables. I would say the number one thing is figure out what is the correct type of bait and cadence and action for certain conditions and situations on the lake. And if your bait aligns with those conditions, then sometimes you're better off just sticking it out and grinding it out, and maybe it's that the fish are in a mood and try to find a different location or something like that. If you're trying to get something on a bait that is totally not lined up for those conditions, then switch until you get something that does seem appropriate for those conditions.
Yeah, and it's funny because every time I go out, keeping everything the two of them just said in mind, I always have way too many rods out on the front deck, but it's usually either one of two things. I'm either really well dialed in and I know exactly what we're going to do, and I've got multiple setups of like 2 or 3 different things, or I'm really not entirely sure what the hell is going to happen. And I have my preference. I'm going to pick up my couple of go-tos first. But right behind that, I'm going to have 3 or 4 entirely different presentations, from really big and fast and heavy to really, really finesse and, lightweight and everything. And if I go to that, one of the things I'll come back to is sorry, I have no idea what just happened, but we just got muted. Before I continue, everybody, we good? No issues? Please confirmo. Because that was really weird.
Lizo, confirmo.
Sounds good now. Okay. That was very strange. We're good. Good. All right. You need to identify your areas with the highest probability of success. We've said this 1,000 different times over the years, and it really stands true for how important it is.
Literally just thinking about him, no homo.
So, all right, I'll tell you right now, I know that in a lot of areas, there's still a lot of really good post-spawn largemouth that are still fry guarding mode too, in a lot of areas. So my areas with the highest probability of success are really good patches of weeds, a little bit offshore. Not always directly on the bank, but come out a little bit, 30, 40, 50 feet. And that has just been really, really consistent over the years. And that proved absolutely perfect this past weekend. And I know that given certain conditions, okay, well, I found the weeds slightly offshore. Now I need to get through to them. What are my best ways to tackle that? And there's one of 10 different ways you could do that. Given those conditions with the wind ripping, something moving, something bluegill kind of shaped, or any baitfish shaped color combination was my highest chance of being successful in my area with the highest probability of success. If that doesn't work, that's when I decide to make a switch. And I'm going to go to that first area and knowing where my second, third, fourth, and fifth spots are going to go. And I'm going to try something with that moving bait because I want to cover as much water as I can and fast. Then I'm going to follow through with something like weedless that I can get through fast, whether a jig or a Texas rig. Then I can come back with a Senko and give them something really, really slow and finesse. And that's going to be like, in this span of 10 minutes, you can hit a 10 by 10 patch of grass with all 3 of those things 10 times. So that perspective is kind of what helps guide me personally when I'm trying to decide when I should not be switching baits. Really hope that made sense.
Good answer.
Better than my overcast and dead flat, calm, sunny.
No, it was still good though.
I'm still trying to decipher what you were saying.
It made sense up here. That's the only thing that matters.
Hi, Oliver. Yes, we like fishing too.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, I saw one from Frag Out. I want to answer that one too. I'll get that in a minute. Kevin, what are you guys' thoughts on Megabass Plus 2?
Is it Fraggle Rock?
Fraggle Rock.
Fragga?
Frag Out Fishing.
Oh.
+2?
Oh, Frag Out Fishing. Yeah. Hang on. Let me star that one. Where'd it go? Anyway, we can answer Kevin's story. What are your guys' thoughts on the Megabass Plus 2?
I love it in the fall. It's my...
I have legitimately never used one.
Really? You've never used one?
Not a +2, no.
No, it's...
I've used other deep dive and jerkbaits, but I've never used a +2.
You definitely have to fish it different than like the +1. Like at least when I fish it, I don't just like cast it out and start jerking. Like I'll cast it out and I'll reel it down.
Yeah, you gotta reel them
and
down, yeah.
Try to get it down to like 10 feet or whatever. But
Yes.
that lake that you are talking about, you know the lake too. But you guys knew it before.
Thanks.
But that lake, in the handful of times that I've been there, I've gone there in October and I've crushed them on that when they're out in like 40 feet and that thing will get down like 15 and you make like ultra long cast and get it down 15 feet and like they'll come up from the bottom to hit it, but they wouldn't come up to hit something that's 5 feet down. So
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think in the fall it's a good one. I wouldn't use it this time of year. I think it's like specialized. Like I don't use it very often, but when they're really deep and I feel like they'll hit a jerkbait, then it's one of the only things that works.
2 + 2.
I wish I didn't own them.
I gotta say, I like them. I'm a huge fan of them. I use them probably more often than most. It's weird coming from me, especially because it took a long time for me to get really confident with jerkbaits. But for some reason, my adoption to the +2 was incredibly quick, and my confidence level with it shot through the roof. And I've done pretty well with that, like especially right now, and maybe in the next month, with especially smallmouth as they start pushing out a little bit deeper. If you can get them on a really good topwater bite early in the morning right now, even out over deep water, and that topwater bite dies, that's when I'll pick that up too. Because it's weird. They'll come up and they'll smoke something on the top, but I can't always get them just on a shallow diving jerkbait. But I pull out the +2 and get a little bit deeper, and they'll come up from 25 feet down to hit that at 15, 16 feet. But it's
Touch
weird. They'll
tips.
come up 25 feet, slap something on the top, but then they stop doing that, and you have something just 5 feet down. They're like, no. But you go just 15 feet down, they're like, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And we've had them.
Another 2 feet.
We've also had fish come up 25 feet to something that's 5 feet down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's crazy how far a smallmouth will come up to bite a bait, and the most telling of that for me is Demiki rig fishing really deep smallies, like at the end of the summer, like late summer, early fall, when they're out deep, like Winnipesaukee specifically I'm thinking of, and the smallmouth are suspended at like 60 feet, and they'll come up to 15 feet to smoke a Demiki rig. It's crazy. It's really fun too.
Seems like you fish summertime jerkbaits in a lot of the situations where I fish spy bait.
Spy bait is something I need to put more time in on.
I've put enough time into it.
You have put a lot of time into that.
Do you like them?
I love them.
Dude, he throws it literally every time we go out.
They're so fun. And it's so easy.
I just haven't caught anything on it. The last bite I got on it, I broke off and it was big.
You haven't caught anything on it?
No, I have caught fish
okay.
on it. It's just the last time that I got bit on it was the big fish
Oh,
that
you
I
mean like you
lost.
haven't caught
Oh,
anything
yeah, there's
crazy
earlier
on it?
this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I remember that one. That was sucked. I'm going a little bit out of order here because my buddy Chris is in the background. You can't see him, you can't hear him, but he's helping us manage comments. Frag Out Fishing. What streaming platforms are you uploading to? I used to listen on Spotify, but haven't seen a new episode in forever. So I have not had time to actively manage that. I've done my damnedest, and then my buddy Chris was like, "Hey man, I'll help out with that," and then he forgot. And I didn't want to remind him because I didn't want to give him. I didn't want to be pushy because he's doing me a favor. And I thought, I was like, well, man, I'll try and get it to it myself. And then I still just couldn't. Like, I just don't have the damn time. So I pinned that, and then we have a little private chat here that we use for StreamYard when we do stream. He said, "No, my shame." They will resume shortly-ish, I hope. We'll see. We'll make it work. Maverick, where's best for frogging on Champlain? I mostly fish the Vermont side and I've only had a few decent spots. I am not your guy to answer that. I wish I was. I have never frog fished up on Champlain.
Just go to Keeler Bay and have a ball.
Yeah, pretty much. I would think anyway, there's good veggies. Make it work.
It's got to be good anywhere. There's veggies.
Yeah, the only...
Any small cove up there has veggies, so. Really?
It depends on what... I fish mostly the Vermont side. I mean, that's a huge...
It's still 125,000 acres of lake.
Right, like...
The Vermont, the middle, the bottom, the top.
Like Mrs. Koi can be very good with a frog in the summer. Also, if you're near Mrs. Koi, then look at like Mud Creek in that area. Can be really good with a frog.
What about where like the Chazzy River comes out on the New York side? Could that be
Chazzy
good?
River. Is that by Rouse's Point? I don't know where that
It's
I don't know
way
where
up.
it is either.
It's way up.
I have to look at a map.
That's where we went fishing. We went up
No,
there.
that's Rouse's Point. If that was where you guys just went.
No. This is back
Oh.
last year. Me and you went up to Chazzy River. He's not paying attention.
I don't know where we went. Wait, when was this? Sorry, I was trying to grab comments.
Last year during the camp, we went up to the Chazzy River.
Yeah, was it the Chazzy?
Yeah, we didn't catch shit out of the river, but we caught him just outside in the lake.
Yeah.
There was a lot of grass up there, and I guarantee they're going to be up in there. Yeah, right there.
Hey, you're right. The Great Chazzy River, which was really cool.
Okay.
We went way up.
You went way up that river?
Yeah, we went up to
this-
right there,
past
yeah.
this bridge.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. It was because the wind was ripping up there. We tried to go on the main lake, and we just started getting kicked around.
We ended up
immediately.
towing up, like getting the kids in the truck and towing up to the launch up there.
Yeah, because we were all the way down here at Marine Village Cottages. And we towed all. I mean, it doesn't seem that far until you actually make the drive
Yeah,
up. But it's
yeah.
actually quite a drive.
It's like
but
25 minutes up to there.
Yeah.
It's a really nice ramp. Like, really nice ramp, nice parking lot. Like, I was impressed with it. But then we came out here, and
Like,
this
look at
channel
all that
swing
grass.
was way out with buoys out to about here.
Yeah.
And then you swing in, and this was, I mean, right now, it's kind of hard to see the veggies, but
Do well out there?
we did.
Yeah.
Lost a couple of big fish, too. A lot of chasers. We were doing something right, but also something really wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully that answers your question on the frog. I wish I could help more on that. But one thing I do want to look to see was, did you specify where, what end? No. And that's okay. That is fine. We'll figure it out. Maverick. Was that not a good question? Go to Mini-jig. Beast Coast Magic Flick.
Any Ned rig. The Defiant little swim little bait with a little jig with a hook on it.
What are you talking about? The head?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking bait. Go to Mini-jig. Well, I guess it would be both. Yeah. So that new
Because
Defiant
that's
jig
90.
has-
That's 90 degree, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Like, if you're talking like proper vertical drop to Mini-jig, you just got to have a 90-degree line tie to your island. And I go back and forth on this. I mean, the Kitechs are fine. I really like lead-free bass jigs, specifically for these jig heads, because you can get him with any size hook you want. If you like doing this with really teeny tiny hooks, he'll pour you 1/4 ounce, 3/8, half ounce, and it's got the eyes on the side, and he'll do it with a 1/0 hook up to a 3/0 hook, even a 4/0 on some of the heavier heads. So it's nice. You know, you can, like, some of our football jigs we get from him. I've got 1/0 on 1/4, 3/8, half, 3/4, and 1 ounce for a 1/0 hook. Works killer for a 2.8 Kitech, depending on your application, though. So it's really, really convenient for that. Other than that, again, like even just any Kitech jig works great. That new Defiant jig head is also very good if you're using something a little bit bigger. That are smaller. Like, I think it's a 2/0 hook on the 3/8 ounce head. If you go up to something a little bit heavier, then I think it gets a little too big for some of the smaller baits I would really prefer to use for a Demiki. But if I had to go, like, my absolute go-to is Beast Coast Magic Flick on a 3/8 ounce ball jig, 90-degree line tie, 2/0 hook. and I've caught the vast majority of my Damiki fish on that. Color, though, all over the place. We've talked about that 100 times. If I know we're going out there and we're going to get them on a Damiki rig, I will literally just pull out the whole bin of everything
Literally,
I
if
own.
I see a giant pile of baits on the front deck and I wasn't paying attention for a half hour like I usually am, I know he's throwing Damiki.
More is more.
It is what it is, man.
Cat piss and Fritos.
Yeah, oh, God. I can blow my nose again.
That's Beast Coast. Oh, the baits aren't here anymore. They're out there.
Is that actually what?
It's not, but that's what it smells like. A mixture between cat piss and Fritos.
I don't actually ever really add any scent to anything. Oh,
Not really. He's trying to get his scent back by blowing his nose.
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
So we can more accurately answer the question. Now, the
Scents?
the only time I ever really use a scent is if I put on sunscreen and then it's on my, I don't mean that I'm putting sunscreen on my bait. I mean I feel like sunscreen like deters fish. So I have a little tube of Mega Strike, and if I put on sunscreen, then sometimes I'll put Mega Strike on my fingers, but I won't really put a lot of it on the bait just because I feel like I'm paranoid about getting sunscreen on the bait.
Oh, that ain't gonna stop it. Literally sprayed a bait with bug spray and it worked.
That's not sunscreen though.
No, but it
There's
deters bugs,
Fish ain't
and
a
the
bug.
bugs aren't gonna be around. The fish aren't gonna eat bugs,
I guess that's true.
so they're gonna eat the bait.
God damn it. Oh, God.
Think with your dipstick, Jimmy.
I rarely use scent. And honestly, Mega Strike, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember because it's been
Something
a
that I
long
just said.
time. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, he was literally just talking about
literally
that.
just said that.
I can't remember who told me that it was good to use, and it was
probably me.
10 years ago that someone told me about this, and I was like, yeah, what the hell, get it. And I never use it. Literally, the only time I use it is for tubes. And I'll put a big glob of it right in the hole of the tube, and then, especially if I want to throw a half-ounce jig inside of the tube, slides right in. Give it that whack, too. And
Dude, I was gonna bring that up. I am absolutely head over heels for that girl.
yeah, you and tens of millions of other men.
I don't give a frig. Oh God.
So Mega Strike works. My buddy DJ speaks very highly of Liquid Mayhem. He uses that a lot too. So food for thought on that. Other than that, don't really ever use scents. Maybe it's something that I'm overlooking. At the same time, I don't know. Put gas on your line.
You'll never break off again.
That's true. Sunscreen and gasoline are cockblockers.
Can't believe you put that up there.
Yeah, well, that's Chris for you. Jody White, bait fuel may or may not exist. Yeah, I know. I keep thinking about that too.
It
I don't know.
does.
I just
Literally, almost I'm not even
I have bait fuel.
90 plus % of the boats that come into work have bait fuel in them.
really. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I have it. I just don't. I've never, I've tried them. I've never put it on and been like, oh my God, what a difference when it's on there. So I never make an effort.
Huck to a girl. Oh,
Can't get away from her, and I'm
okay
okay with it.
she's like replaced my Jennifer Lawrence.
There was a comment from Chris Curtis. I'm sorry. Let me try and decipher this.
I hope this 9-year-old's still listening. Oh God.
Family friendly up until 8:45. Then all bets are off.
Yep.
Chris Curtis, love yours. I love yours and try to beats. Remind me where is a straight trailer keeper, Shaw, plastic, fake, mental.
Was that supposed to?
I'm trying to decipher, but Chris, shoot that again. We'll take it. Make it work.
If he says the same thing, then we're screwed. We don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, you know what? I am glad Anthony brought this up. A real comment, not just a cheeky one for once. I just reused my max set bags for other lures. I have done that in the past with what was before max
See?
set?
Dipstick.
Power bait?
Gulp.
Gulp.
Gulp. Thank
I was
you.
going to say
I'm
gulp,
trying to think.
definitely.
I know it's not power bait, but
Chris is learning how to type.
the Coasty FI4. Isn't that Travis? Hi, Travis.
Travis who?
Travis there?
Travis. Oh, hi, Travis.
I'm 99% sure that's him.
FX4. Coast. Yeah.
I've reused gulp bags in the past, and that has worked very well in a lot of cases, and also very not well in other cases. I don't remember what baits it was. Maybe it was just how long I left them in there, but it has broken them down. Remember when like those plastic jars of the gulp were really popular?
Oh yeah.
My dad used to buy those when I was younger, and he would take, because he only ever fished a 4-inch black river worm, the Renegade brand, and he'd just take a whole bag and dump them in there, and I don't know, it worked. I had massing and bassing. I had bait fuel and a bait flipping. Wait, I had bait fuel on a bait, flipping smallies, and wasn't getting bit. Then switched to Procure and immediately got bit. Huh. Well, there you
I
go.
heard Procure is pretty good.
Oliver, Jeremy Pratt and I used ranch sauce from our buffalo wings in Minnesota when it worked.
Is that why they always spit it out? Hot!
hot. Okay, the real talk ranch is
Everything likes ranch, yeah. You're
Ranch
not
is
wrong.
delicious.
I had a chicken
Oh,
cutlet
what should
side
I get
from
for-
Wilton House today,
should I
and
get for
I had mayo and light ranch, and it was perfect.
What did I get for lunch? Oh, I got Wendy's. It was terrible.
Yeah, it is Wendy's. What do you want?
Yeah, wait.
I got their new garlic parmesan nuggets.
Oh.
They were bomb. They were so good.
You just said it was terrible.
Yeah, but the baconator with pretzel bun was terrible.
See, Jody knows what's up. Blue cheese for the more discerning bass.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Give me the chunky shit.
Dude, when I make homemade pizza
Mm-hmm.
and I do a buffalo chicken, I make sure to get blue cheese and lightly crumble the blue cheese in with the rest of the mozzarella. It's good.
I'm coming over.
Just, you gotta go easy on it because it gets really overpowering really fast. But I think it's Dietz and Watson has like a really, 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 really fine blue cheese crumble, and that's like perfect. Just a little dash around the whole thing. Anthony, I cannot pin that.
Gobbling. More like hot.
Oh, we are so getting canceled.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Of all the things I could have gotten was canceled, this is probably the most mild.
It's okay. It's almost 9 o'clock. Kids
Tell
are
you what.
sleeping.
Wait, no, actually, they're out swimming now.
What?
Yeah, they left. Family left. They went swimming
Where?
at my mother-in-law's.
Oh, they
They
have
have
a
a small pool.
Oh,
Small
yeah.
pool, but it works. It's great. Oh, there we go. So, burning season. Does anyone know why Hartman didn't do the last tourney? And Jody White's right there. He took a medical exemption back thing. That sucks.
Ooh. Jamie Harmon?
I would assume so, yes.
It's too bad.
It is.
That's
awful.
Brian's buddy. He's calling Brian like 3 times a week.
Oh, for real? For what?
I don't know. Over the summer he was. Or over the winter he was.
Who's Brian?
About his boat, yeah. Visco?
I don't know what that is.
Visconator?
He works with Andrew. He's a
got
good
it.
dude. He's
Yeah.
a really good dude.
Yep.
Alec, I can't put that up either, but you're right. We did. We got through that together. With the help of all the admins, it was great. You know what? Actually, speaking of that,
Can we get through all the questions?
we did get through everything. Jody, wait. Oh, hang on, Chris. I'll get to that in a second. Where are you, Jody? You've been here a lot. You've earned it. Where? There you are. Wait, man. Oh, this is new.
That is new.
Okay, well, there you go. Jody White is now a moderator for your channel. You're welcome, bud. You've earned
Jody's
it.
a blue dude.
Chris, I said I love you and try to beat. I want to let you know if you ever tried a fluke trailer keeper. A fluke trailer keeper. Like, fluke is a trailer? Or, you know what I'm wondering? What was that little bait keeper you gave to me at the river last year? That little plastic
It's a-
little nubbin.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called, but I think Decoy makes them. Like you slide it over your hook, and then it keeps the bait from sliding up your hook.
Yeah.
Those things are legit.
Those things are phenomenal. I keep forgetting to ask you what they were so I can order more.
I don't know. Go to
Do you?
go to the hook. I don't know if Tackle Warehouse would have them. Go to the hookup tackle.
Oh, you're going to make me go to the bougie spot. The bougie tackle.
Let's see.
I'll check and see if Ben's has them too.
Go to
Digitaka?
shop by product. Terminal accessories, maybe.
Skirts.
Try pegs.
I would rather not. Thank you.
Sorry, guys. We're looking stuff up on the interwebs.
Oh,
It's
Texas
the-
Hawk decoy.
It's one of those things. It's not. No, it's not that.
Damn it.
That's a bobber stop. It's like that, like the chain cushion.
Yeah, Zapu. It is Zapu. I remember somebody else.
You know what those look like?
Yes, yes.
Don't say it, Andrew.
I'm not going to.
Let me hang on. Let me so everybody can see this.
It's like a string of beads.
Chrome tab. That one.
What?
I'll just describe it.
See?
That's what we're talking about. And these things are great. Awesome. Hide. There you go. That's what
Hide.
we're trying to find. Jody will try not to abuse it. Stop
The
that.
Wrenchman army is growing.
Jody, like everything Decoy makes is dope.
Decoy is very good. Decoy makes one too. It's not this one, obviously.
Trying to tell you on a ChatterBait.
Yes, concur. Wrenchman army is growing. Yeah, we need. Oh god, this is a questionable decision.
Jody, you'll be great. You've eased into it, okay?
Next thing you're gonna see, you've been banned by Jody. You've been banned by Jody. You've been banned by Jody.
Demonetized by Jody.
You're gonna see the question in the chat. Is it possible for me to ban the actual host of this?
I'm trying to tell you on a chat.
A fluke on a ChatterBait? Is that what you're trying to say?
Very-
Yes.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yes. Hey, I mean, damn it, dude, what the hell is that bait you're using when we were up there? At Champlain?
Depths, Death Adder.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are really good.
Anything like that kind of whippy tail? Like a fluke?
Yeah,
He said that like he didn't
good.
want to give it up.
that's a very good.
Hope you're all paying attention because he ain't saying it again. Hey, wow, Jesus, we made it an hour. I tell you what, I think that's gonna be good. We ran through every question that was pinned. I went back through and looked to see if we missed anything. You guys had some excellent questions for us this week, and normally I would let the open topic nights run a little bit longer, but brain right there. It's warm in here. It's very warm.
It ain't cold.
I am uncomfortable, so we're going to call it a night while it's still not deathly hot, but it's uncomfortable. So, before anybody goes, if you haven't done so yet, please leave a like, whether you're here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you are. Either way, helps immensely. Greatly appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, also please do so on that. Another welcome to Dennis, to the Reel Nothern Bass crew, as it were. We are +1 for now, but about to be -1, so we'll be back to 2. 2, 3, 2.
Sorry.
We'll miss him. He says he's sorry, but he's not really sorry because he's just looking forward to his. He's gonna leave right as the weather starts to get cold here.
That was the plan.
He's like, later, nerds.
There's the nipple comment. We knew it was coming. Couldn't get through it.
A thumbs up for the nipples.
Tips McGee. All right, man. Well, do your thing.
Are we on next week?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
We will see you
week-
guys next week, as always, ish. Every ish Wednesday at 8 p.m. I'm messing it up because of all the ishes. 8 p.m. every Wednesday at youtube.com/ReelNorthernBass. We will see you guys next week.
Have a good night, everybody.
Ish.